7 days. That is all it takes to change the course of a man's life. 7 days of discipline, 7 days of obedience, 7 days of repeating a single ritual that reshapes the way you think, speak, and act. Do it, and you will not recognize yourself 1 week from now. Refuse, and you will be standing in the same shadows, trapped in the same habits, chained to the same life, watching others pass you by. You think it cannot be so simple? That is because you have been taught to believe change must take years, that success is reserved for the chosen few, that fortune bends only to chance. But I tell you the truth, destiny bends to repetition. 7 days of commanding your own mind with definiteness can do more than 7 years of drifting without purpose. Picture this. In 1 week, you awaken with fire in your chest. Doubt is silent, fear is weakened, and every thought marches in one direction. The people around you notice before you speak. Your step is firmer, your voice steadier, your presence magnetic. Opportunities seem to appear, not because the world has changed, but because you have. You look in the mirror and see a man who commands himself, and therefore commands his circumstances. Now picture the opposite. 7 days pass, and you never committed. You listened, but you did not apply. You told yourself you would begin tomorrow, and tomorrow never came. Doubt still whispers. Fear still paralyzes. You walk into rooms unnoticed, your ideas unheard, your potential unclaimed. And as the days turn to months, and the months into years, you become one of those men who look back and say, "If only I had started then." Do not deceive yourself. This is not a small matter. The thoughts you repeat daily are already writing your destiny. If you leave them undirected, they will continue to write poverty, hesitation, mediocrity, regret. If you direct them with definiteness, they will write confidence, wealth, opportunity, and freedom. The pen is in your hand, and every day you delay, you hand it back to fear. Carnegie repeated his aim until his mind accepted it as law, and steel obeyed him. Edison repeated his purpose until even 10,000 failures could not erase it, and light was born. Ford repeated his vision of an automobile for the masses until ridicule itself bent into silence, and the world rolled upon wheels. Do you imagine they achieved without self-command? No. They forged their fortunes by the words they drilled into their own minds, and now the choice is before you. 7 days. Will you give yourself that trial? Will you test this law? If you do, you will discover strength you thought you lacked, faith you thought was impossible, and doors you thought were closed. If you refuse, then know this: nothing changes. You will drift another week, another month, another year, until your last chance is gone. Hear me well. The difference between the man who wins and the man who wastes is not luck. It is not education. It is not even talent. It is the words he speaks to himself daily. You cannot rise higher than your own command. You cannot outwork the chains of fear if you repeat fear. You cannot build a fortune with the language of doubt. But if you obey this ritual for 7 days, you will begin to write a new law upon your mind. 7 days. That is the test. That is the turning point. And before I am finished, you will know exactly how to do it. Repetition is the hammer that engraves thought into the subconscious. Every time you repeat a phrase, whether spoken aloud or silently, you strike another blow upon the anvil of your mind. One blow changes little, but constant striking shapes steel. So it is with thought. Repetition turns words into belief, and belief into destiny. Most men do not know this. They think their fate is written by chance, when in truth it is written by the words they repeat daily. They whisper fear when they awake. They speak doubt when they fail. They excuse themselves with alibis when opportunities come. Without knowing it, they rehearse their own defeat until failure becomes habit. You may ask why fortune has escaped you. Look first to your own words. Have you not said, "I cannot"? It is too late. "I am unlucky"? Each phrase repeated burrowed into your subconscious until it became law. The subconscious does not argue, it does not reason, it obeys. And if you repeat weakness, it accepts weakness as your portion. I tell you the truth. Self-talk is the secret weapon that divides the drifting from the decisive. The drifter allows fear, doubt, and excuses to form his language. The decisive man commands his mind with definiteness, repeating faith, courage, and persistence until they become his nature. Both use repetition, one for defeat, the other for triumph. Consider R.U. Darby. He and his uncle struck a vein of gold. They dug eagerly until the vein disappeared. They tried again, but quit. They sold their equipment to a junk dealer. That man persisted and discovered the gold was only 3 feet away. Darby repeated hesitation more than persistence. For that, he lost millions to a man who refused to stop. Darby later redeemed himself in insurance, where he adopted persistence as his creed. Each time a prospect refused him, he said, "I stopped 3 feet from gold once. I will not stop again." His new words became his new law, and his fortune followed. One man, 2 destinies. The difference was the words he repeated to himself. Affirm this with me now. I speak success into my mind daily. I repeat confidence, courage, and wealth until they are mine. Say it again and again until the sound of it drives out fear. Repeat it until the subconscious accepts it as fact. For repetition is the seed of faith, and faith is the seed of riches. Why does repetition hold such power? Because the subconscious cannot distinguish between truth and falsehood. It accepts what is repeated with feeling. If you say, "I am weak" with conviction, it becomes true. If you say, "I am strong" with conviction, it becomes true. The subconscious is the soil. Repetition is the planting. Belief is the harvest. Men fail not from lack of opportunity, but from repeating the wrong words daily. They repeat excuses until they believe them. They repeat doubts until courage dies. They repeat complaints until poverty becomes permanent. Success is not denied them. They deny it themselves through the language of defeat. Words are the chains that hold them captive. I say to you now, choose your words with care. Guard them as you would guard gold, for they are worth more than gold. Speak only what you desire to become. Speak faith, courage, persistence, definiteness. Speak your chief aim until it becomes your nature. And refuse to allow the language of fear to dwell within your lips. This is the foundation of the 7-day test. For 7 days you will speak only the language of success. You will repeat affirmations of courage and definiteness morning and night. You will guard your tongue from fear, doubt, and excuses.